can you zoom out? Take a moment to arrive at standing. Notice if the feet are where the hips want them to be, and give yourself permission to adjust. Shift from side to side, letting the feet come underneath the hips. And then look down. Let the feet come to parallel, drawing the parallel lines from the second toe. And then anchor the big toes just like we did before, and bring the weight back into the heels. Often we're either too far forward or too far back. So try to use that cue of anchoring the big toes and rocking weight in the heels to help you find that sweet spot in the middle. Relax the arms down. Feel free to turn to face me if it's easier to follow. Start to shift the weight forward into the toes, letting the heels hover, and sweep the arms back so the whole front of the body lengthens. I'm going to turn to the side for just one moment. It's kind of like you're the bottom of a rocking chair. And then set the heels down. Start to reach the hips back as you sweep the arms forward, keeping a neutral spine. Don't let the pelvis tilt forward here. And then come back into our rocking chair pose. Oh, that's cool. And then you're a chair. It's perfect. You're a rocking chair and then you're a chair. That works out. And pulse here at your own pace, and just start to notice the back line of the body. When you come onto the tiptoes and the heels lift, the whole back line of the body is shortening, and that's what's allowing you to lengthen through the front of the body. And then everything that's shortening when you're lifted starts to lengthen as the heels come down and the hips reach back. So take your time just letting your awareness float through the back of the body, and try to ungrip any tension or any sense of what these shapes should look like, and just feel that sense of everything being those beaming up lights, traveling, flowing, never stopping. The next time you come into chair pose, melt the body over the thighs, letting the whole back line lengthen. Keep the knees deeply bent. Let the spine lengthen and evenly curve. Anchor big toes, shift the weight back, and slow, dramatic roll up. If that doesn't feel good on the low back, you can always come up with a neutral spine, but if there's no pain, this is amazing for your core and your spinal mobility. And the next time, or once your head stacks, you can come onto the tiptoes and just pause there. Anchor the big toes. Notice if the heels and the ankles want to wobble out, and see if you can keep them stacked over the ball of the foot. And relax a little bit. And then set the heels down and start to walk towards your blocks. If you want to grab a sip of water, you're welcome to. Okay, and so we'll take our sequence from kneeling, and we'll follow a very similar trajectory while balancing. So good thing that we got to go through it to pattern everything before we have to do it on one leg. So as you're ready, from Tadasana, take a moment to shift the weight forward and back. Big toe stays anchored. And then find the sweet spot in the middle. Relax the arms down. Start to scoop the air up, send the hips back, and then shift the weight into the left foot. Start to glide the right foot back, just like we did in tabletop. Nothing moves except the right foot, and try to line up head, hips, and heel. Sweep the arms back and start to pulse the back foot up, and just like in tabletop, we don't want the pelvis to move here. So everything is stationary and just the leg lifts. You're probably feeling a lot of warmth and stabilization in the left leg. That's great. The next time the toes come down, tuck them under and start to bring equal weight into both feet. Circle the left arm forward, up and back. Again, just like we did in table, letting that whole left side open. Take a few circles on your own, and if the left leg is getting fatigued, see if you can bring more weight into the right leg. The next time you circle forward, thread the left arm underneath the right so you start to face me. Stack the hands in our flowing energy fingertips. Squeeze fingertips into one another. Bend the left knee, anchor the left heel, and push down into the left foot to slowly hover the right leg for Erdichandrasana. And we'll have a moment to pause, and then we'll repeat that whole thing flowing a little bit faster. So gently square the hips down, place the back foot down, and shift the weight back so you're standing in Tadasana but heading backwards instead of forwards. Take a moment to pause, absorb, and then trust that your body knows what's about to happen. You don't need to hold on to anything. You can just allow this flow to naturally occur. So this time, shift the weight into the right foot. We're doing the same side, but we're getting into the first pose a little bit differently. Shift the weight into the right foot, lift the left knee, start to twist into the left, and then place the left foot down and take a few bounces, twisting into the leg as you come down and untwisting as you come up. Just letting the body get really springy here. And then the next time the foot comes down, pause there, sweep the arms back, shift forward, and take your leg lifts. We'll just do a couple. And then set the toes down, equal weight in both feet. Keep the left knee bent as you circle left arm forward, up and back. This time we'll just take one spiral and then bring the left arm. Imagine threading it through underneath the right arm. Keep the left big toe down. Keep the left knee wide. Stack the hands and open up into your Erdichandrasana. And then one last time. So square down, shift the weight into the right foot. Step the left foot back. Pause in Tadasana, letting that left leg relax. And this is our last repetition. If there's any pose that you would like to hold, you are more than welcome to do so. Otherwise, you can keep it flowing. So we start by shifting weight into right foot, hover the left knee, twist to the left, and take a couple of bounces forward, making sure that the left leg feels very connected to the right leg. So it's probably going to be a very short stance. So the next time you spiral into it, pause there. Equal weight in both feet. Sweep the hands back. Shift weight into the front heel. Hover the back foot. Take one or two leg lifts. And then set the right toes down. Equal weight in both legs. Circle left arm forward, up, and back. Letting any tension dissolve from the left side of the body. Trying to feel as spacious as possible from the left foot all the way up into the left rib cage, left pectoralis muscle, even behind the right ear. And then thread the arm through, stack the hands, flowing energy hands. It's like a circuit created, a big circle from the heart to the fingertips. Stay here as long as you want. You can even play with bouncing in the left leg, making sure you're pliable, supple, resilient. And then place the right foot down, bounce back. Option to pause on one leg or Tadasana. Take a couple of breaths here, and the amazing thing is, even though we've only done it on one side, the other side has learned from that process. And so we'll explore that on the second side. You can go to the final track. Feel free to grab a sip of water. I've been drinking more water lately, and it feels really good, so I need it. Okay. So to keep it symmetrical, we'll walk up to the front of our mat, beginning in chair pose. Shift the weight into the right foot now. Reach the arms back. and start to glide the left foot back, unmoving anything else in your body. Take a couple of leg lifts. Pelvis doesn't move. And then set the left toes down, left heel down. Equal weight in both legs. Circle the right arm forward, up and back, letting the right side of the body open. Oh, that was a good moment in the song. Do it a couple of times and try to feel that spaciousness. You're turning into energy. You can beam up to anywhere you want right now. There's nothing dense in your whole body. And the next time you circle, feed the right arm underneath the left. So you're reaching probably towards your side wall. Stack the hands. Anchor right big toe. Let the right knee come nice and wide towards the pinky. And slowly squeeze the hands to create space, activating the top of the core all the way down. Hover the back foot. And then set the toes down and bounce back to the back foot. Set the right foot down. Pause in your Tadasana. Take it in. Hopefully now after doing the second side, there's more of a sense of both of the legs kind of buzzing. Imagine the whole body turning into beams of light, just glowing and flowing and traveling, not holding on to anything. Anything is possible in this moment. Now shift the weight into the left foot. Reach the right knee up, twist to the right, and place the right foot down, twisting, and then untwisting. Take a couple of those bounces. This should feel good on the joints, so you don't want to overdo it. Make sure the knee feels supported, springy and light. The next time you twist down, pause there. Equal weight in both feet. Sweep the arms back. Shift the weight into the right heel. Take a couple of leg lifts. And then bring the foot down and circle the arms into that nice spiral. Feed the right arm underneath the left and then stack the hands. Fingertips come to touch. Squeeze the hands together, creating that nice circle of space. Float the left foot whenever you feel up for it. And then set the left foot down. Bounce back to Tadasana. Pause. And just like on the first side, we'll do this one more time. You can pause anywhere the body's enjoying the posture, or you can keep on flowing. And I invite you to let everything go and just allow yourself to be energy traveling through space. Shift the weight into the left foot, lift the right knee, twist to the right, right foot down, take a couple of bounces. Light and springy, less is more. Feel everything unified. Next time you twist, pause there, sweep the arms back, square the body down to the mat, shift the weight into the front heel, leg lift through the back leg. And then back foot comes down, Vira, one legs, but circle the right arm up and back. Letting that right side open. Try to push a little extra into the big toe as you spiral and see if you can feel the spiral coming up into the outer right hip. Feed the right arm through underneath the left. Stack left hand on top of right. And float into your Erdichandrasana with your big spacious arms helping support you. You can play with flexing the foot, feeling the femur anchor into the hip socket. Stay here as long as it's useful to you. Breathe. Stay relaxed and springy. And then whenever you're ready, set the left foot down and bounce back to meet it, pausing in Tadasana. Walk forward towards your blocks and step about mat's distance apart with the feet. Come on to the tippy toes for the rocking chair experience, just like we did before. And then set the heels down, reach the hips back, drape the body over the thighs, bring the hands to the blocks. Shift the weight from foot to foot, letting the hips sway. Play with bending the right knee as the hips sway to the right. And then bending the left knee as the hips sway to the left. Notice if the body wants a little more space here, you can certainly walk your feet wider. You just want to make sure that it feels like the legs are integrated towards one another. If you want a little bit more, the next time the left knee bends and the hips sway to the left, walk the blocks over to the right. It's kind of like a standing Parvrita Jana Shirshasana. Breathe into the left side of the body. Breathe into any sensations in the inner thighs. I really enjoy rocking the weight forward into the balls of my feet and then back into the heels. This changes where I feel it in those right adductors. Breathe and relax. And then if you enjoyed that, you can try the same thing on the other side. So right knee bends, hips sway to the right, left leg lengthens, and then walk the blocks as far to the left as feels useful. Stay long through the spine. It gently curves to the left. And then you can gently rock forward and back. You can play with bending and extending the right leg or anything that the body is craving here. You can even walk the right hand over to the outside of the left leg and allow the heart to spiral away from the right knee. Just make sure you're working with your body and not against it. Let's walk the blocks back to center and heel toe the feet in just a little bit so you can lower your hips down all the way to the floor.